Okay, people, we are back. Yes, 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 yes. And hey, you will have just of maybe you've seen this, right? Because it debuted at the festival today at I think it was 6:15 at the Curzon. Um Lovely cinema. I do like the Curzon. It is nice. Uh but I'm talking about Shepherd, right? It is the new film from writer and director Russell Owen. Now, Russell, he appeared at the screening went to because, I have seen this long before this date, but I was hoping to have a word with him. Russell he said he's going to stick around. Homie just scuttled off somewhere. I don't know where he went, but he should have stayed around because I think he would have heard a lot of good things about his movie. So yeah, the movie is called Shepherd, and as mentioned, Russell he wrote and directed the piece. It's directed by Kareem Prince. Oh dear, Chish Baragu. I butchered that. I apologize, Kareem. And Aslam Perez. The cinematography is handled by Richard Stobbard. The editing is Chris Thornton and Jim Page. Music is Callum Dundleson. Uh, Now, cast wise, it's a small cast. Oh, but this cast, they do a thing, people. So, Tom Hughes plays our pivotal character, Eric Black. His mother, Glynis Black, she's played by Greta Sashi, and his wife, Rachel, is played by Gia Wees. We also have Fisher, who is a captain, a boat captain. She is played by Katie Dickey, and god damn, Katie Dickey goes. It's one of them ones, people. Remember Charlize Theron in Monster, and everyone knows Charlize Theron. She's an attractive young lady, but in Monster, she made herself look butters, and I love that shit. Right? It's like when was it Eric Banner? I want to say Eric Banner, but I think I might be wrong. It might be the dude that did Batman. Who the fuck was Batman? I'm Batman. That motherfucker, right? Who then went on that ridiculous diet for that film, which the name now escapes. God damn it, the name escapes me. But it was something like the mentalist or something like that, the torturist, the fundalist, something list. And he starved himself and he was like mad thin, right? That I mean, that is real. I love that style of acting, because sometimes you watch stuff and people are just themselves, like Tom Cruise nowadays. Back in the day when he first started, he didn't, but nowadays he's just kind of Tom Cruise in everything. Will Smith, the same, but when a character really submerges themselves into a role and will fully transform, that's the shit. And Katie Dickey really transforms into Fisher here, people. Trust me. So we also have a um, DI Carol Thomas, who is played by Jamie Murray Leary. So yeah, that's our cast. Um, Now I do believe this is going to be hitting. Actually, we'll come back to that. Oh, it's from Darkland. Darkland. They're distributing it. Um, and I think Parkland also helped put this together. But the gist of the story, running from grief after the mysterious death of his wife, Eric Black takes a job as a shepherd trapped alone on a majestic, weather-beaten island with an ominous secret. One man's spiraling madness meets a vengeful supernatural force. What starts as the perfect, windswept escape becomes a race to save his sanity and his life. I don't ever think it was a perfect windswept escape. I don't think it was ever that, people, because when you see this island, jeez, I mean, it's just a little barren. I guess if you're a mad motherfucking countryside person, you might dig it. But boy, I just saw that and was just like, nah, nah, not me, not me. It's one of those ones you'd be like, nah, not today, son, not today. You know what I mean? But yeah. So we open, whew, we open, and we're kind of hearing like church kind of music. Is that right? Hold on. Let me. I'm gonna have to. No, we get a quote. That's it. There's a quote. A quote. And yeah, it's a black screen. There's a quote and all of this. There's one thing that really bugged me about the film. Right, there is a lot of I guess I don't know. I'm gonna call them stock cards, right? They might be something like chapter cards. Okay, so there'd be like boom, come up on the screen, tiny words. I think it's like breaking up the film into kind of acts, as it were. Couldn't see them. Tiny ass. I'm just like, why does they always have to be tiny? Out the cinema screen's huge. We got a big cinema screen. Why the fuck do they always make it so tiny? It's like in the middle of the motherfucking. To make it bigger. Just make it the full fucking stretch of the screen. I mean, I still won't see it. I still won't see it, but come on, man. Why are we playing like this? It's some silly ass shit. I don't know. That's why there's another thing I'd like to talk to Russell about. But anyway, I'd say that's the one kind of mad gripe I have about it. Everything else was golden. Everything else was golden. So we start off with this quote. I don't know how impactful this quote was because I couldn't see it. But we then go and we're kind of hearing church music, right? Church music. And we've seen people throwing stuff into a box. But as it kind of pulls out, the camera pans out, we then realize, oh, it's a coffin. Okay. I don't think this is shits and giggles. Right. And so, yeah, it's a funeral. We're seeing a funeral. And yeah, kind of bleak, right? So we then kind of we move out of the church and we see people outside, and it's outside. It's not many people there. You're thinking, person wasn't that popular. But we also then see an image of someone drowning, someone submerged in the water, right? So we get all of this. All of a sudden, it seems like this guy who we then realize is Eric. It's like he hears something and he turns around and he sees like something standing far, far, far off, this ominous figure. Right. And it's just like, whoo, it's getting crazy. So, like, there's all of this, right? But we realize, oh, it's a dream. It's a dream, you know? But he's in a house and, there's like an alarm going, the phone going, he's not really picking anything up. And just from this scene, you get this overwhelming sense of loneliness, of isolation, So he's looking at a newspaper, and that's where he must see this advert for this job. But it's like the ad seems to jump out at him, And one big thing that we get there's the sound, right? The sound, the music that's playing, it's really kind of ramping up in this scene. It's really ramping up in this scene. And early on, right? So we had music going through the funeral kind of situation, the dream, and then we get this. And people, right? So I think with stuff like this, it's pretty clear that you have your cast, right? And Tom Cruise, it's probably fair to say he is the lead in this. But I feel that it's not just Tom or Gia or, Kate or Greta or Jamie, even if she's in it at the end, but it's not just them because really the music, the sound department, and the cinematography play a huge, huge role in this piece, right? If there was best supporting actor, you would give it to the fucking composer, right? For real, because the way it just ramps up these scenes, it is crazy. So it really builds this tension, and it does it in a way that it's not just scary scene, scary scene, scary scene, time to be happy. It's not that bullshit. No, 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 no. It's a real deft hand here. It really is. And man, one thing that really jumped out at me, right, is just from the start, you notice that there is a real economy when it comes to what we're seeing. It feels like there's no flab on this film, right? It's a lean motherfucker. I'm not talking about the length of the film, people. I'm just talking about the economy of shots, right? Everything that is used tells a story, adds to the story, lets us know something. Now, it's one of them films where we don't necessarily know a whole heap of information. And even at the end, I don't know if we have the full truth of the matter. But everything that we're seeing, it gives us something. It tells us something about these characters, something about the environment, right? Something about the presence. I mean, that's what we get, and so you're just like, damn, Russell Owens is killing it. I have seen a lot of big time, well renowned directors who haven't done as great a job. Now, it's not to say, listen, I'm not saying people are rubbish and blah, 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 but what I'm saying is it's just the way this is all cut. And I guess when you directed it, you kind of have that hand. You're not working for a large studio. You can really dictate what people are going to see. And that's what we get. There was this moment when Eric's playing with a lighter, and just that motion, right? The flick, flick, flick to turn it on, right? That sound is just reverberating, and then when it ignites, it's just there, and it's really just in this quiet moment, right? It really just boom, really sets that scene, and it kind of gives you something on the mindset of Eric. And it's just like, yo, okay, damn. But yeah, Eric goes to this island, to be the shepherd. Straight away, something's up. Like, see, just on the fucking journey across, I'd have been like, you know what? Yeah, I ain't getting off, man. You need to take me back because this motherfucking Fisher, it's not like she's, you know, yeah, you're an asshole. People are coming for you. Like she doesn't say anything, but I think there's a certain cadence, right, that she uses, and there's a couple of questions, and when she's just like, "Oh, I see this in you, Tom." Eric, even, yeah, it's just a bit like, you know what? Yeah, not today. Not today, lady. I don't trust your ass to leave me because there's no one else on this fucking island. Right, and also, right, if I'm taking a job like this, you're isolated on an island, and we've seen those adverts, especially of late. Over the last few years, I think they really kind of, you'd be like, oh, dream job, living on a tropical island, being a caretaker, da da da, and it's just like, yeah, it's all well and good, but there's nothing there, right? It's not like there's a cinema you can go to, a comedy club, and a jazz bar. Like, no, it's just you. But you kind of think, okay, listen, just make sure, as long as my amenities are killer, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool, right? So a nice bed, you know, a computer I can use, just a book, like a bookcase. I mean, yeah. Granted, it's just gonna be audio books, but you know what I'm saying. Like just everything there. Now he gets, and it is, yeah, just like, oh yeah, so you're gonna be, shepherding and doing shit up, like fixing walls, um doing up the cottage and maybe the lighthouse. And you just think, oh, so what, just a few little, maybe a paint job and blah blah. No, 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 no. This place is such a wreck. It is such a wreck. I'd be like, you motherfucking piss takers. Like, I want to know how much they're paying him because it's a to dump. It's a dump. But I guess. I guess if it was like 5 star, La Hush, it might take away from the whole anonymous nature of the piece. You know what I mean? Having it in the state it is, it does help Russell do his thing here. And he plays with it. There's a scene where old Eric needs to get upstairs. Now he's kind of height adjacent. What do you call it when someone doesn't like heights? They're a heightist. Ah, there's a word, right? When you're scared of heights. I feel there's a word. I don't know the word, but people just imagine, insert that word here, right? So Eric, he's a because yeah, so he's going to go up the stairs and yeah, he's scared, man. He's always holding on, and they elongate the scene. You know what I mean? So it looks like these stairs are a whole lot longer than what they are, and just that imagery is so good. It is so good, right? We get these dream sequences, which are they dream sequences? What the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? But sometimes it's like, is that a dream? But if it's a dream, how has he still got what is happening? All right, so there's all this going on, and yeah, it's the camera work, right? The cinematography, it's so good, and everything just really comes together, right? Sometimes there's elements of films that are great, but they don't always coincide with the other parts, right? There's sometimes a little disconnect. With Shepherd, everything really fits so well. It fits so well. And you're blown away. I mean, I jumped. I definitely jumped a good few times, right? It's just, it's creepy, man. It really is. So it just really just it makes you just feel uncomfortable, right? Like I think I shivered at one point just because, you know what I mean? It's just you feel creepy, man. feel creepy. So yeah, it was a good job, and boy, everyone really kills it with their performances. They really do. You know, like Eric's mum is just because the thing there's a whole heap of stuff that happens, and it's weird, right? Because we are getting it's like we're hearing three different versions of a part of this story, a part of the story that happens before the film we actually watch, right? And you never quite know what is real, because although there's stuff that is said that is then denied, there's just like, don't say that about, you know what I mean? Then there's other moments which make you think, but is that true though? Right? And then the event he's kind of running from, one person makes it sound really bad. His account, it's yeah, you do kind of feel it's like it's hard to blame him, right? Because if you have this thing, you would like it's a bit like, yeah, you're a bit of an ass, but it didn't look like the intention was to, you feel me? But then you hear something else and you're like, oh, but was that true? Right? Everything that you see, there's always a little doubt in it, right? So you're always kind of second guessing some of these moments, some of these occurrences, right? Which really makes it good. And it's done in a way where you're doing it, but it's not like, come on. It's so unrealistic and it's so preposterous. You know what I mean? It's really done with a deft touch, which is great. It is great. And the end, I don't even fucking know. I don't know. I ain't you have to kind of make your own judgment, people, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of good. I like that, right? Because I don't even know if a definitive ending would have worked. So, hey, people, Shepherd, it's one to watch. Now, as mentioned, right? So, it's showing tonight, today, so it's all that's already gone. But Friday, the 15th of October, if you abide a BFI South Bank at 2:45, that's 2:45. If you don't know your numbers, you might be able to catch it. Now, I would go on, if this sounds like it's your thing, I'll go online right now and book that ticket, because shit does seem to, if it's not already sold out, hey, as soon as word of mouth hits on something, it's gonna sell out again. So yes, go do that. But if you can't get to see the Friday showing of Shepherd, I do believe it will be coming to everyone on the oh, where's the date? Where's the date? The 5th of November. I feel that's the general release, as they say it. So yeah, people, boy, boy, Russell Owens and crew, you really did your thing, people. Be proud, man, because Shepherd, Shepherd ain't no sheep, son. Shepherd ain't no sheep. Poor Baxter.